Alright, so jumping straight into one of the first things that you need to be aware of when it comes to starting your first ever dropshipping website, which is platforms. And by platforms, what I mean is that you need to understand that there's various different e-commerce platforms out there, and some of them you're allowed to use when it comes to building a dropshipping business, and some of them don't really like it when you use dropshipping as a fulfillment method on their platform. And I've broken down the platforms that I would advise any beginner to use right here. So starting off with Amazon, they don't really like it when people dropship on their platform. Reason being is because they have the Amazon FBA service, or Amazon Prime as you may know it, where they want to get the product to the customer within 1 day, or in some cases 2 days. And the point of what I'm trying to say is that they don't really want their customers waiting 10 days to receive an order. So that's the reason why trying to build a dropshipping business on Amazon isn't necessarily going to work. However, when it comes to using Shopify now, this is definitely a great platform when it comes to you being able to build a sustainable dropshipping business. Reason being is because the way that Shopify works, for those of you that don't know, you're going to be able to essentially use it to build your own website, and you're going to be able to operate it in the way that you want to. So if you want to buy the stock in bulk and ship out yourself, you're going to be able to do that using Shopify. And if you also want to use it when it comes to building a dropshipping business, you're also going to be able to do that as well. Now, when it comes to something like Wix, you are going to be able to build a dropshipping business, but the reason why I put a crosshair is because I personally haven't ever used it when it comes to building a dropshipping business. So that's the reason why I wouldn't really recommend it. But eBay, on the other hand, is a platform that I have used for many years, and it was the first platform that I used when it came to building up my e-commerce business to the point of me making my first $1 million. So eBay is definitely a great option for any beginner out there that wants to start dropshipping, but the only thing you need to bear in mind is that it's a marketplace, so you're not going to be using it when it comes to building a website. You're just going to use it when it comes to listing items on eBay, sitting back and being able to make sales, and whenever you do make a sale, your supplier is obviously going to ship out to your customer. And finally, moving on to WooCommerce, the reason why there's a crosshair is because I've used it one time for one store, and I found it to be somewhat complicated, and I found Shopify to be an easier alternative. If you are going to go down the route of building your own website, I would say that Shopify is the best bet. And if you are going down the route of listing products on a marketplace, I would advise any beginner out there to use eBay. Alright, so swiftly moving on to the second thing that you guys need to be aware of when it comes to building a dropshipping business, which is products. And I've broken down the 4 main types of different products that are out there, and I'm going to quickly explain each one just so that you have a full understanding of how each one works and which one may be best for you. So the first one is general evergreen, and this is a term that I kind of came up with myself, but it refers to items that people are buying on a daily basis, and it's not really affected by any sort of change in season or any change in the year. Like, for example, things like light bulbs, things like batteries. And this now brings me on to the second type of product, which is niche evergreen. And these are evergreen products that people are buying on a daily basis, but it's kind of targeted towards a particular audience. So this is things like baby items, pet products, pet food. All of these items are being purchased every single day, but you're going to be targeting a specific audience rather than going after a general audience, like when it comes to things with light bulbs, batteries, and those type of items. And the third type of product is seasonal. And for these type of items right here, these are things that are being purchased at specific times of the year, whether it's Valentine's, Easter, Christmas, wherever it is, you're going to be selling items at specific times of the year. So a perfect example of a seasonal item is something like a Christmas tree. This is a product that people are only spending money on during December. People are not really buying Christmas trees in March or April or in August. So if you are looking to go down the route of selling a seasonal item, you just need to be aware of exactly when customers are going to be spending money on that product, so that you're going to be able to anticipate exactly when money is going to come into your business. And the final type of product is a trending product. So this is an item that people may be buying a lot right now, but it's going to eventually die off for whatever reason. And there's been so many different items like this in history, like for example fidget spinners. I'm sure that you guys probably remember them. Or in more recent times, something like face masks. People was buying them a lot, and then eventually when things kind of calmed down in terms of the lockdowns, people stopped buying face masks. So trending items are not necessarily bad, but you're not going to be able to build a long-term business on these type of items. Alright, so moving on to the third thing that you guys need to know when it comes to starting your dropshipping journey, which is understanding exactly how to get customers. Now, there's different free methods that you can use, and there's different paid methods that you can use when it comes to acquiring new customers. And going down the route of using free methods isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's not really scalable. And that's the reason why I always advise new beginners to put energy and effort into understanding what goes into using paid marketing when it comes to getting new customers onto your dropshipping website. But the thing is, there's various different platforms that you can use when it comes to using paid ads. And you also need to be aware of the fact that there's different demographics on those platforms that may or may not be your target audience. So for example, when it comes to using something like Facebook ads, you need to be aware of the fact that 25 to 34-year-olds mainly use Facebook, which means that if your product doesn't really appeal to this particular demographic, then you may not want to use Facebook. However, when it comes to using something like Instagram now, the main ages that use this particular platform is between 21 to 34 years old. TikTok, on the other hand, has a younger demographic that's between 18-year-old to 24 years old. And finally, when it comes to using something like Google Ads now, which is my favorite advertising platform, there's no real demographic because everyone goes onto Google to search for things, which means that you're going to be able to appeal to all age groups. But the reason why I felt like it was important for me to show you all of these different advertising platforms and also give you the mindset of understanding the different types of demographics that use these platforms is that when it comes time for you to build your dropshipping business and you want to start running ads, you need to know exactly who you're targeting, because if you don't know who you're targeting, you're going to end up wasting your budget. But whatever the case is and whatever you decide when it comes to using paid ads or free traffic, you just need to understand exactly what you're going to do when it comes to positioning your products in front of your potential customers. Alright, so moving on to the fourth thing that you need to be aware of, which is exactly which suppliers are the best ones to use as a complete beginner. And there's so many different suppliers out there and there's so many different options that you can use, but when it comes to the easiest ones for any beginner that I normally recommend on this channel, I would say that you should look into using AliExpress, CJ Dropshipping, and Alibaba.com. These are, in my opinion, the easiest ones to go onto right now, find a product that's selling well, and then from there you're going to be able to list it on your store for customers to start buying it from you. But all of them work in different ways, so it is very important that you go away after watching this video and research which one is best for the business that you're trying to build. And of course, eventually, as you grow your business more and more, you're going to want to find a more tailor-made supplier that's going to help you scale your business. But when it comes to you testing out different products and kind of getting an understanding of which item is the best one for you to put your energy into over the long term, these are the best options out there. And the reason why I say that these ones are the best ones is because there's so many different apps that you can use when it comes to being able to connect to one of these different supplier websites and linking it to one of your stores, whether you're going to sell on eBay, whether you're going to sell on Shopify, and also using those apps when it comes to fulfilling any order that you get directly from the supplier websites. Which now brings me on to the fifth thing that you guys need to be aware of, which is how you're going to deal with fulfillment. And for those of you that are completely new to the world of dropshipping and you don't really know exactly what fulfillment means, it's simply the way that you're going to process all of the orders that you're getting when it comes to your customer paying you for the product and you getting that product to the customer. And there's two different ways that you can handle fulfillment. You can either do it by copy and pasting your buyer's name and address every single time that you make a sale and then going over to your supplier's website, buying the product from them so that they can now ship out the order to your customer. Or you can do it the second way, which is by automating the entire process so that whenever a new order comes in, you're not going to have to lift a finger. The automation software that you're going to use, and the one that I normally recommend people should use, is AutoDS. They're going to be responsible for sending the order directly to your supplier, and all of the orders that you're going to get are going to get shipped out automatically on your behalf. And the process to using something like AutoDS is super simple because you're going to be able to pair your AutoDS account with your eBay account, your Shopify account, or any one of these different platforms over here. Then what you're going to do is link the product from your supplier's website to your AutoDS account so that they know exactly which product you want to be shipped out. And then from there, it's going to be super simple with you setting up all of the automation on the back end of your account. But whatever you decide to do, even if you go down the route of handling fulfillment manually and you don't want to use a software, it's going to be your job to make sure that things are being shipped out on time every single time to your customers, because of course when it comes to dropshipping, there's already a delay in terms of the delivery time, and you don't want to end up delaying the customer even more by you taking a few days to process all of your orders. But if you did decide that you did want to use something like AutoDS and you wanted to try it out for 30 days, I've got a 30-day trial link in my description down below so that you can play around with it and see if it's something that you wanted to continue using over the long term with your dropshipping business. And if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to press the like button. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe as well and hit the bell notification. And if you wanted to watch another YouTube video that I made not too long ago where I break down some other tips and tricks that you guys need to be aware of when it comes to starting your dropshipping business, things I didn't really touch on in today's video, then make sure you click the link right there. Check that out straight after this one because it's already helped out so many people, and I'm sure that it's going to help you out too. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.